Well, the one stupidly says in this phrase. Since the dawn of civilization, man has been engaged in a process of discovery by unveiling the mysteries of nature. And this phrase, has a lot of lack of logic. This had led to an accumulation of the body of knowledge about nature through experiences and reasoning called science. The word science is originated from a Latin word "scio," which means I know. An originated effort to know about the things and happenings in nature is science. Man has come to the conclusion that there cannot be any event in nature without reason. There is a universal law of cause and effect. The function of science is to search for causes of natural phenomena and not events. This process of searching for knowledge and truth, man has accumulated a vast store of knowledge known as science. In this process of searching for knowledge and truth, man has accumulated a vast store of knowledge known as science. It is true about describing one and only truth, but it is only makes a partial of it. After hundreds of years, 200 years of development from this time, that remains always a true one, but it only makes the partial ever more smaller portion of the entire knowledge. The most frequently appearing word in this phrase is the nature. Nature, by that origin, it really means nothing but the long procedure of evolution, the development from creating the DNA to make a lot of simulations for these experiments and the survival they made upon the simulation, a development to solve, act, fit, address, adapt, and adopt around the environment to survive. As to do that, they made a lot of process called evolution. That is what really is. The word nature does mean nothing without the essence of procedure for processing the simulations. Really, it is about a simulation. Not only you do know as a result, and in the end, the real nature of nature, the real essence of what you call nature from the bloody control of biology, and you realize the point that controlling fully on the biology really means just one kind of simulation to make the new one for what hasn't been created by the name of the fucking 4.5 billions of years of Earth's history. You create new one. The one that hasn't been made, another kind of animal, another kind of chemical composition, another kind of machine. Really, it is just a simulation, and without the human existence, and until the sun goes shrinking, eating the earth, the animal around the earth will evolve with or without human. So it's just a simulation. You break down, divide into the constituents of any and all informations and create new ones for making connections that haven't been made. A human that has 4 legs, 4 eyes, 4 arms. A human that has 2 or 3 stomach organ. A human that has a vision that spans from the first to the end of entire electromagnetic spectrum. A human that has an ear that can expand the range of hearing. Well, the purpose of science is not to learn from the 4.5 fucking billion years of Earth's history and over 100 billions of tens of billions of years of universe's history, but from that knowledge for what has been explored on the preset system that was made before human, the human existing after that creation, and trying to understand their past history around the environment which they live. From that knowledge of knowing the past history fully, and they create their own history. That is a real science, a real logic. Only what has been made makes the smallest part of entire possibilities. And after you understand it, you make your own system, which goes over 99% and advances. The added 9 is behind the decimal point. The importance of the advancement made by your creation goes upward, and the system that was made from the 4.5 and 113.5 billion years of universe's history, it really is just a small part. Universe, including Earth, is just a battleground, a field of experiment. As soon as you understand their grounding cause, basic reason for making those systems by laws of logic, you create your own for what hasn't been created by that ignorant, purposeless simulations. Because you have a purpose, your pace, your velocity, your acceleration of evolution for advancing the knowledge surpasses any other kind of phenomena. The reason of why we do not, even though we made a lot of efforts to understand the biology, we do not understand the biology fully, to the full understanding, is the reason because your existence for learning biology spans only about under 500 years. But this boy, the subject of experiment, learning, spans around 4.5 fucking billion years. It was just a accumulation for those long periods of time. Complexity was added upon each of those steps of evolution. Reason of why we do have a difficulty, even though we do act a lot of efforts upon that. And by that, under 100, 200 years, we will fully understand not only the laws of Earth for its creatures, also the under universe. Upon that, it realizes just understanding that certain system of Earth and universe is just an example of what is possible to create as a simulation. Yeah, you create your own planet, you create your own system, you create your own law that goes by logic. What the knowledge is. Scientists in this world is very ignorant about all disciplines. They are just trying to uncover the laws of physics, chemistry, biology, all those one, except the part of technology and engineering. It is just a purely creation of their imagination. They are just trying to understand, not create their own law, because it is governed by that law on what they are trying to discover. Reason of why, not pure scientists, but a technician, an engineer, has a lot of creativity than the other one who is really just willing to uncover the ignorance but not creating the knowledge. 이거 봐, 이거 화려한 수식어가 필요하냐? 아니 씨발, 어? Now, like using the word studying, learning, researching, exploring some phenomena, some object, some system, some machine, it's just a reference, having an example. In the higher logic, advanced machine, you create, you are to create. And to do that, you need an information basic element and whose source is procured from learning those references, analyzing those examples for what had already been made, designed, machined, organized. You have a deep down analysis on those organization and make a structure analyzed. Know that structure, know that system, by what informations to make what network to operate the machine. Those references being exampled, sampled, and you deep down analyze it and you create your own knowledge. But on the subject for like researching the human brain, fucking human brain was there no need to, okay, exist. But at first, there was a body, and the body to regulate the body's movement, not to think or just fucking having a predating, eating or being eaten is just not a realm of a brain. It was just a realm of body, a body that has a no brain, but to instinctively know, and knowing by its DNA. There was no need to have a brain, but a brain was not needed, was needed and made for the purpose of regulating its body function, not to think. Thinking, why? Why do you think? There's no need to think, okay? First, survive, okay? The higher advanced logic to analyze, there was no need to. First, survive, okay? Just survive. The brain was made for surviving, meaning regulating, not a thinking, but regulating their body. More organs, more specified functions on its machine to operate and diversified purposes to target. More and more diversified functions are to occur, needed, necessitated, required for more complex computer. For what once enough to have just separate organs in just one body because it was not, first, having a complex requirements to operate a certain specific job. Second, no, not so much for its organs, just 3, 5, okay? But as its organ goes up, but faster with the specialized operations on each of those organs to do its job. Those are disorganized without a controlling tower, without a manager, literally a manager of a business, without an executive officer of a company. Its single machine, single operation, single body is just disorganized and having no coordination, what we call cooperation, coordination, okay? Co meaning together, to gather it, okay? So more evolution, more functions and diverse functions that was disorganized and having naturally needed some kind of controlling. That controlling was not used for thinking because there was no need to do such things, but to regulate their function, run, eat, see, hear, all those senses, what to do, okay? It was not a brain for what we normally refer to, but it was a protocol, simple protocol, like a low-grade software, okay? Having a simple, small set of protocols to regulate to the operations, and even till this day, the one has a brain in human compared to other animals. Human is just a slight better one to use its brain, okay? And human is like, I exactly know, dissipating its 99.8 or 9% of its entire percentage of potency, utilizing only a portion of it, fraction part of 0.1 or 2% of its entire potency to be analyzed. Human does not think proactively. Human does not think when it reads, it thinks, it applicates on its own knowledge. It does not make a proactive simulation, okay? When it is going to read, learn, cogitate, and make some solutions on its knowledge, applicate the maximum connections, make the out of it, its complete sphere of network. It does not make a proactive simulation. For the proactive simulation, human had only made till this time is a fucking machine, simple machine, but having no error, fallibility. Oh, simultaneously because of that fucking simple structure, binary fucking code to be what refer as a computer. A computer only referring a analyzer, but human brain cannot have a eligibility to be referred to as some kind of computer because it is just a responder on a passive stimulation when it is inflicted upon its body without its volition, without its intention to do so. All those other animals, even fucking severe. As to have a research on the fucking brain. So, it does not have any resulted like indispensably correct answer, okay? We can have a reference onto it, and it is, of course, I really think that more than 50% of its entire structure for its basic logic can also be and has to be used in the next generation of brain. It has a lot of answers, but not all of which is an answer because it has a history of ignorance. It was not made like a human made a computer. Human made a computer, the programmer made a computer, the electrician made a computer to be the exact logic. Computer does not fail because it was designed to do so, to do exact way, to calculate in exact way for what is exactly actually intended to be. It is not like that. Computer designer, logic designer makes to be no fallibility. It is a complete computer, but human brain is not. So, you make your own engineer, okay? Making a brain, shucking and fucking researching like thousands of times. No need to, because it's not an answer. The answer lies in the small amount of data which can be learned under not thousands of times, but just hundreds of times, okay? Reduce the 90% of dissipation, which has no need to because the brain was not a God's job. Well, applications of basic concepts. For the easiest part to learn some discipline is mathematics, because mathematics has a certain defined logic. It is very easy to define and make an organization. Compared to the other disciplines of science, it is rather easy, okay? Because it is widely used, okay? And having a no fallibility, love it. So what? Do not say any more than that. Enough. 자, 항상 말했지. 가장 중요한 거는 자기가 모르는 지식에 대해서 그걸 얼마나 많이 인식하고 있는 거야. 자기가 어떤 정보를 알고 있다, 즉 자기가 어떤 지식을 가지고 있는지 그 처음부터 끝까지 지금까지 어떤 경험을 통해 어떤 학습을 통해 어떤 지식을 알고 있고 그 정보들의 연결을 어떤 것들을 했는지를 알고 있어야 돼. 그럼 무슨 뜻일까? 어떤 정보가 존재하지 않는지도 상상할 수 있고 무엇보다 그 정보들을 사이에서 연결하지 않은 응용도 있다는 걸 알 수 있게 되지. 결국 그거는 지금 인간한테는 너무나도 큰 숙제야. 누구한테 말해봐. 네가 지금까지 평생 동안 경험해서 알았던 모든 경험들을 전부 다 나열하라고. 그리고 거기서 모든 지식들을 조직화하라고. 우리가 지금 그걸 해야 되는 거야. 그렇지 않으면 지식의 발전은 없지. 노벨상을 받는 친구들, 그리고 많은 상을 받는 것뿐만 아니라 엄청나게 학문적으로 많이 했던 친구들은 엄청나게 노력을 했고 족같은 노력을 했고 운이 좋았기 때문이야. 운이 좋다는 것은 졸라 많이 노력했다는 거야. 아무것도 노력하지 않았는데 운이 좋을 순 없잖아. 그러니까 운이 좋았다는 것은 운이 좋았다는 게 만들어질 수 있을 만큼 졸라 많이 노력했다는 거야. 그 상상에 대해 한번 생각해봐. 누군가 운이 좋았다는 건 졸라 많이 노력했다는 거야. 운이 나타날 수 있을 만큼 졸라 많이 노력했다는 거지. 자, 보면은 100권의 책을 읽은 친구는 앞으로 자기가 읽어야 될 책이 200권이라고 생각해. 근데 200권을 읽잖아. 앞으로 자기가 읽어야 될 책이 400권이라고 생각하거든. 400권을 읽은 책은 앞으로 자기가 읽어야 될 책이 1000권이라고 생각해. 다 틀렸지. 훨씬 더 많으니까. 1000권을 읽은 친구는 이 세상이 끝나지 않는다는 사실도 이제 알게 돼. 1100권이 아니라 1200, 1400이 아니라 2000권을 읽어야 되는 사실을 알아. 2000권을 읽은 친구는 3, 4천 권이 아니라 10,000권을 읽어야 되는 사실을 알아. 그럼 10,000권을 읽은 친구는 책이 많다는 사실을 알고 10만 권을 읽어야 되는 사실을 또 알아. 지식이 많은 친구는 천문학자라고 쳐보자. 천문학자는 자기가 지식이 적을 때 자기가 우주에 대해서 알고 있는 게 꽤 있다고 생각해. 근데 한 3, 4년 더 공부하다 보면은 모르는 게 훨씬 더 많다는 걸 알게 돼. 근데 그거보다 더 많이 공부하잖아? 그럼 자기가 아무것도 모른다는 사실을 알게 돼. 그게 지식이야. 언제나 자기가 생각하는 것보다 모르는 지식은 많고, 중요한 건 그것이 지식이라고 하는 것이 수학과 화학, 생물학, 즉 지금까지 지구를 중심으로 인간의 연구가 지구가 중심이었으니까 지구를 중심으로 우주까지 있었던 그 천문학과 물리학을 통해서 거기서 알고자 하는 것은 저 친구가 어떻게 작동하는가를 알고자 하는 거고, 결국 그 목적들은 더 분석이 되어서 그것을 만드는 방법들, 즉 요리 비법처럼 그 제조법을 알게 된 다음에 우리가 창조를 하는 게 그 다음에 목적이야. 그 페이스가 이제 나눠지는 거지. 안 다음에 만드는 거야. 오케이? 인간의 몸을 다 안다면 또 다른 걸 더 만들겠지. 이거는 되게 자연스러운 거라서 누가 말하지 않아도 어쩔 수가 없어. 왜? 아니까 그냥 하는 거지 뭐. 자, 그래서 결국 지식이 있다면은 자기가 만들 수 있는 지식 혹은 모르는 지식이 더 많다는 걸 알게 돼. 지식이 적으면은 그만큼 자기가 모른다고 생각하는 것이 너무 적게 돼. 100을 아는 친구는 1000을 알아야 된다고 생각하지만 1000을 아는 친구는 10만 알아야 된다고 생각하는 거야. 100만을 아는 친구는 1000만 1억이 아니라 10억 개를 알아야 된다고 생각하는 거지. 왜? 그만큼 자기가 아는 게 많아짐에 따라 모르는 것도 많다는 사실을 알게 되니까. 책을 더 많이 읽을수록 자기가 더 멍청하고 자기가 전체 지식을 차지하는 비중이 훨씬 더 작다는 것을 알게 돼. 왜? 미지의 지식이 그만큼 넓어졌으니까. 실제로 양은 많아져도 절대적으로 많아져도 비율적으로는 줄어든 거지. 뭔 소리야. 자기가 무엇을 알고 무엇을 모르는지에 대해서 훨씬 더 알게 됐다는 거지. 자기가 성장을 하면서 자기가 얼마나 병신인지를 안 것만큼 가장 중요한 학습은 없어. 솔직히 지금까지 영어로 말을 했던 거는 그 생각을 하는 그 과정에서 모든 정보들을 영어로 대응을 해야 되고, 그 관계성을 네가 검증을, 한국어가 아니라 영어라는 또 다른 단어로 한 번 더 검증하는 과정을 거치기 때문에 훨씬 논리적으로 말할 수 있어서, 즉 자기가 말하는 그 정보에 대해서 그 논리의 구조를 네가 만들고 얘기를 할 수 있어서 오류가 적게 말할 수 있고 번복해서 말한 일을 없게 하도록 영어로 말했던 건데, 영어로 너무 많이 말하다 보니까 한국어로 말하는 게 너무 적지. 지금까지 녹화를 한 게 지금 200번째가 넘는데 200번들 중에서 195개는 영어로 했을 거야. 결국 그렇게 봐봐. 100개 중에 5개면은 5%지만 200개 중에 5개면은 2.5%잖아. 97.5%를 이제 영어로 했던 거지. 여기서 녹화하는 것들이 전체에서 말하는 것에 아주 일부밖에 안 돼. 언제나 항상 책을 읽으면서 우리가 느낀 게 뭐야? 책을 읽으면서 여기 써져 있는 글보다 이 글을 읽고 나서 안 써져 있는 글이 더 많다는 사실을 알게 돼. 책을 읽으면 여기에서 설명하지 않은 부분이, 즉 책을 읽고 난 다음에 거기서 설명하지 않은 부분이 있기 때문에 그것 때문에 더 많은 책을 읽어야 되는 사실을 알아. 책을 한 개를 읽으면은 다른 한 개를 읽어야 된다고 생각하지만, 즉 또 한 개를 읽으면, 즉 축적되어서 2개를 읽으면은 4개를 읽어야 된다고 생각하고, 결국 그렇게 된 거지. 대답되지 않은 질문이, 그치, 있기 때문에, 그리고 그 질문을 읽으면서 만들 수 있기 때문에 자기가 무엇에 대해서 아는지를 알게 되고 자기가 무엇에 대해서 모르는지를 질문의 창조를 통해서 알게 되고, 그리고 질문의 창조라는 것이 미지의 지식의 존재를 알게 됨에 따라서 한 개를 읽었을 때는 한 개를 읽어야 된다고 생각하지만 총 2개를 읽었을 때는 4개를 읽어야 된다고 생각하는 거, 4개에서는 8개, 뭐 그렇게 더 많이 읽어야 한다고 생각하는 건, 그만큼 책을 읽음으로써 그 책에 쓰여져 있지 않은 것이 훨씬 더 많다는 사실을 알게 됨에 따라 어쩔 수 없이 더 책을 많이 읽고 어쩔 수 없이 더 많이 경험을 어쩔 수 없이 훨씬 더 많이 생각을 해야 한다는 거. 그것처럼 지금까지 여기서 녹화했던 것들 중에 그 모든 전체의 것들은 실제로 알고 있는 생각과 해왔던 것들이 일부밖에 안 되는 걸 알 수 있지. 그리고 지금까지 이제 영어로 말을 했던 이유는 그 논리 덕분이었지만, 너무 영어로 말을 많이 하다 보니까 다시 한국어로 이제 전환해서 말을 할 때 훨씬 더 논리적으로 생각할 수 있게 돼. 영어로 말하나 누구로 말하나 독일어로 말하나 그 중요한 게 아니야. 네가 언어를 만들고 모든 족 같은 언어들은 과학적으로 만들어진 게 아니기 때문에 즉 사실이 아니고 습관이기 때문에 언어는 습관이야. 언어는 누가 관습이라고 하지 정확한 말이야. 언어는 문화라고 하지 정확한 말이야. 생각하지 않고 만든 게 언어야. 네가 프랑스어를 잘한다면 엄청나게 멍청하다는 뜻이지. 왜? 프랑스어를 네가 배울 정도고 많이 했으면 그것보다 훨씬 더 훌륭한 언어를 만들었을 테니까. 그치? 뭐 우리가 지금 그걸 하고자 하는 거고. 아 결국 네가 영어를 잘한다는 건 네가 병신이란 뜻이야. 왜? 영어를 쓰지 않아야 한다는 사실을 모른다는 거니까. 영어를 엄청나게 잘한다면 영어가 병신이란 사실도 알 거야. 결국 이제 쓰여져 있지 않은 것이 많다. 따라서 우리는 더 많은 질문을 해야 되고 더 많은 책을 읽으면 그것보다 몇십 퍼센트가 더 많은 혹은 몇 배 더 많은 책을 읽어야 한다. 이 사실을 알게 되는 거지. 이 지식의 목적은 더 많이 나아가고자 하는 거야. 천문학자를 통해서 이제 예시를 들었었는데 훌륭한 천문학자는 덜 훌륭한 천문학자에 대해서 자기가 모르는 게 얼마나 많은지를 더 많이 알고 즉 미지의 지식에 대한 그 구획이 그 넓이가 엄청나게 크고 자기가 상대해야 될 지식들이 많은 거지. 그뿐만 아니라 그것 때문에 질문이 엄청 많아. 질문이 많아. 왜? 아니 미지의 지식을 그 존재를 알기 위해서 얼마나 많이 질문을 했겠어. 책을 읽고 경험을 하고 뭐를 하고 뭘 듣고 하면서 질문을 던졌을 거 아니야. 대답되지 않은 게 많다는 거. 그리고 쓰여지지 않은 게 많기 때문에 더 많은 책을 읽었고 그거 덕분에 더 쓰여지지 않은 질문이 쓰여지지 않은 내용이 그 해답이 답이 없다는 사실을 알게 됨에 따라 너는 더 많은 질문을 하지. 책을 많이 읽잖아. 질문이 훨씬 더 많게 돼. 어쩔 수가 없어. 그래서 천문학자 수준이 높은 천문학자는 수준이 낮은 것에 비해서 그리고 더 수준이 높은 학자는 그 전 단계에 비해서 그보다 더 많은 것 지금 더 전 단계에 비해서 훨씬 더 많은 지식이 중요한 게 아니라 그거 덕분에 자기가 무엇을 아는지를 알 뿐만 아니라 더 중요한 거는 자기가 무엇을 모르는지를 더 많이 알게 되고 따라서 자기가 전체 지식에서 차지하고 있는 비중이 더 적어진다는 사실도 알고 따라서 더 많이 읽어야 한다는 사실도 알고 따라서 그 경험이라는 게 얼마나 중요한지도 알게 되고 다양한 실험이 얼마나 학습에 가장 중요한지도 그걸 뼈를 통해서 알게 되지. 그것뿐만 아니라 뭐야 언제나 미지의 지식이 많다는 걸 알기 때문에 그리고 더 넓어진다는 걸 알기 때문에 질문이 갈수록 더 많아져. 그리고 그들 중에 일부는 계속해서 해결이 되겠지. 질문이 많다는 게 중요해. 그게 지식이 많다는 뜻이야. Well, the microphone performance of the AirPods is far less than that of the iPhone. So let's go again. For the full warranty statement, please visit that.com. A. Warranty policy. Samsung rents to the original end user, customer, or purchaser, you, I would say you, for the later time, of these products, including the SSD and the cable provided with the SSD, that the product is free from defects in material and workmanship, subject to the conditions stated herein for the shorter of 1. A period from this date of purchase of the product in its original sealed packaging until the expiration date of the limited warranty period as specified in the product warranty terms and conditions. Refer to the entire warranty policy for details. If no proof of the date of purchase is provided, the warranty period will be considered to have been started 3 months after the date that the product was manufactured on the manufacture date. Number 2, the period ending on the date when the SSD has exceeded TBW, WVT total bytes written threshold as may be indicated by Samsung's Magician software. For specific information, this threshold, please refer to data sheet for your particular product, which is available to Samsung.com. Samsung will choose one of the following actions. Samsung will choose one of the following actions according to the terms and conditions explained in this agreement. 1. Repair or replace the product with a new or refurbished product of equal or greater capacity and functionality. Or number 2, refund the then current market value of the product at the time the warranty claim is made to Samsung. If Samsung is unable to repair or replace the product, that's a good point. Number 2 again, refund the then current market value, which means refunding the amount of money that at that price, at the time price, the price at that time, which is not a date of the purchase, but date of the inspection, making sure that the consumer can be refunded and that same amount to buy the another one with the new one. Refund the then current market value means that not a purchase date, but the inspection date to the date of the refund of the product that at the time the warranty claim is made to Samsung. It shows. Okay. At the time the warranty claim is made to Samsung, which means the consumer has reported that product, the defect of the product to Samsung. And that is a capital letter. That's not a small, the big one. Made to Samsung if Samsung is unable to repair or replace the product. However, in the case of the no trouble found through a diagnosis by you, your product will be sent back to you. You should always back up any important data. This warranty is provided only to you and only you, is not transferable. The warranty period for the enclosed cable provided with SSD is 1 year. B. Warranty limitations. The warranty stated herein shall not apply if, number 1, the product was not used in accordance with any accompanying instructions. Number 2, the product was not used for its intended function environment. Number 3, any failure or defect arose out of the presence of a third-party product from the third-party product is affected, subject to comment, whether authorized or not. What you say? Number 4, any failure or defect was a result of improper installation, misuse, unauthorized repair, modification, or accident. And 5, there exist any other circumstances that Samsung determines is evidence of a breach of this agreement by you. It's a good point. Number 5 again. There exist any other circumstances that Samsung determines is an evidence of a breach of this agreement by you. There exist any other circumstances that Samsung determines is a or the evidence is evidence of a breach, or just determines is evidence of a breach of this agreement by you. Is evidence of a breach. That's the right one. You agree that the product shall not be used in life support system application where failure could threaten injury or life. Samsung disclaims any and all liability in connection with, arising out of, or related to any such use of the product. In addition, Samsung is not responsible for any cost related to the installation or uninstallation of the SSD for the purpose of upgrades or repairs, and for any cost related to the data recovery as a result of such operations. Which means implicating it will fail for the operation of data recovery, which will make the loss of your money, expenditure of your money. That says this is for the purpose of repairs for any cost related to the data recovery as a result of such operations. For any cost related to data. Okay, let's say again. In addition, Samsung is not responsible for any cost related to the installation or uninstallation of the SSD for the purpose of upgrades or repairs, and for any cost related to the data recovery as a result of such operations, means purpose of upgrade or repair which will cause the data loss, which will necessitate the process of data recovery, which also again added loss of your money, added cost, added to the action of upgrade or repair, after which that will again another also necessitate the operation of data recovery, which also for which they are not responsible. They don't have a responsibility for the costs for the action of data recovery or the action of upgrades or repairs of the device, which is preceded before the data recovery. Okay, the Samsung warranty also does not cover products which Samsung receives improperly packaged, altered, or physically damaged. Products will be inspected upon receipt. Oh. I recently from the 2022 for its mid-April to this time of 2025 of 1st of February for over 22 and 6 months we have just written over 4 million character counts for full pages of up to over 1,000 of A4 pages for delineating all of our knowledge, my knowledge. Well, that first mid-April of 2022, I started writing on my laptop because I couldn't handle the emanating, sparkling thinking of all knowledges for what I'm thinking, that I started to write down with a form of code by an exact storing method of computing as its memory cell, because my brain isn't consisted like that exact one as handwriting. That is just same with the computing exact memory. From that time to till this moment, it has already exceeded 1,000 pages of A4 content. Well, that mainly consists of what the definition of knowledge is and how the knowledge as a learning machine has to be made from the initial sourcing to connecting to executing. Well, now from the initiative learning from all those disciplines, from mathematics, all those sciences, from physics, chemistry, biology, and engineering, technology, and all sciences of applications, we will make the map of knowledge as I learn from books and internets of all vast sources by organizing those disciplines into a tree, a ramification of each and every organization, and connect it all the way down to the core for delineating the connections has to be made. Yes, the connections has to be made is the core message. The connection is just another word of imagination. There is reason of having a same context for what I'm making a dictionary. Yeah. Well, the word of dictionary has to be preceded by a code book. Yeah. For that all we will make, and from combining the building blocks of machine as man did on the computer as a just the electricity, using an electricity as a dividing, differentiating unit, as a different path to make combinations of codes to process on that, will always be used for any form, just to, yeah. And we are making a computer like but more sophisticated, a connection able, an operator, yeah. For receiving amounts of data but transforming into computable unit and connecting around of it, connecting from A information to B information. When the connections are made between them, the new knowledge is C is made from that connection. It is not just ends with just forming a bridge, not just connection makes new knowledge. A C is made from that application, the combination of A and B. The C is made from its application. How it's made. We are we have started for imagining for such advanced machine from seeing an Iron Man having a, a human body and a great machine that are integrated, having an ability to fly and act as a war machine, as a flying machine that it can hit with a precision strike of missile and a bullets that I really like. And a Vision, a Marvel Vision, and Ultron. Well, it's just basically the same thing, but it operates as a highly sophisticated machine, but lacks of fluency, lacks of sophistication, lacks of remedy, rehabilitation from the millions of years old of human body. But for its intelligence, it precedes anything. We're imagining the better possibilities. Well, the definition of company is just a team for all the units of learner is connected around and under the same purpose of name. From that organization, it really strives and learns and operates for the single and one and only purpose, or any other or different two, three, or other more purposes. But its purpose is same, remains the same, which is it is an organization to achieve some or certain mission. And the quality of its unit for a connecting dots, not connecting lines, but per se from its dots, really matters for its quality, and the connection's quality matters in that. No choice but to make, because one person cannot think much more than the organization, and the one person cannot do more for its operation of labor than the organization of much more units. That is called a communication and cooperation. That is our journey, but it has to be made. Now, creating a new mathematics concept, creating new structure of logic by the accurate, deepest understanding on the essence of what the computer knows, dividing, dissecting, and going into the most basic element and making new combinations, applications from that point on, which makes all learnings effective and new creations possible. So, creating new gadgets, machines, new type of computer, making new structures. Okay. So, humans have adapt have looked into the sky and looked into the ground for many plants and animals for how they behave, and made a remarkable discovery that those structures that they have made or have is very adaptable, is very suitable, is very effective on the environment around which they and in which they live in. So what they had to do was to adapt, make a suitable evolution, make a effective structure in their body to be more get to be more successful. Okay. So what the nature's job is just making simulations and test it and evolve, revise, ameliorate, amend and mend and go for the changed environment. It is called biomimicry, mimicking their evolved characteristic on certain environment. The best boy that are living in that certain environment has the highest chance for having a suitable position on its body. There are a lot of simulations. The weakened one have gone down, and the stronger, more suitable one made. It is about the simulation, even though the nature's simulation is very passive, only changes up until the stimulation affliction is made upon their existence, making them urge and surge for changing per their changed environment. Invention is made as all the processes of nature and universe did before. Knowledges are made as all those systems have done before is made through the eternal execution of endless experiments and experiences. For that endless simulations you can make, and the reason of why the one reads a book is not only make a source out of it, but of course making a proxy, like surrogating experience that can easily be transferred for certain knowledge which took 4-5 years to for acquiring, but it can be successfully transferred under like 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, far shorter than the original one. Having a lot of experience, genuine, real experience, is one and only source for creating knowledge. Biomimicry, that makes a lot when the change of environment takes place. It has to evolve, and it has to evolve further from the fucking change. Not waiting until it changes, but it evolves by making its own simulation. It stimulates to change. The nature in which all plants, animals are a passive manner. Only one and only human can realize that they are passive on their stimulations process, and human can proactively make an evolution like a soldiers, even special forces. They, even though they do not need to have any expensive muscle and long run power and even swimming power. They prepare for what is incoming, what can incoming, what can happen in the future. They are preparing for the war, even it is not happening right now. They do know it will happen. So, from the simple perspective, and the man who studies more, ever more, even though it is not imperative, not required on its very current status quo, but it knows as the more knowledge, the more creation, the more evolution. I reason why a certain man studies. So, human can make a proactive simulation. Proactive meaning they create a simulation, not waiting fucking thumb licking and fucking sit down and sitting fucking duck and but they are predicting, they are creating. Advance by doing on yourself, on your own self, the proactive execution. The biomimicry is like mathematics, a lesson from the changed or certain environment to make a suitable logic. Okay? Mathematics and biomimicry, even though it is not exactly the same in the superficial perspective, but from going into on that view, going into it more deeper, mathematics was created from noting a certain action, object, interactions of all the environment, and the evolution as biomimicry having a suitable and most powerful characteristics was made from the changing the environment to adapt to, and many concepts of mathematics are derived from that biomimicry because it is the most suitable structure, okay? Mathematics is about the efficiency, the most accuracy, the most productive structure, which is exactly what the most powerful and suitable creatures on a certain environment had made an adaptation evolution from which human can follow its biomimicry. Of course, when the environment, the playground, the fucking battleground is made, the computer has to proactively simulate by controlling as to govern their all interactions. Not waiting until the stimulation is changed upon to that and making a severe death threat. It has to. Now there is a certain book series from a certain publisher having a book series, at least 2 or 3 other books, or maximum like 10 or more books for its sequential series, until having different themes for each of those books, different topics. Those series having a relatively constant quality, so if the one of which is having a great quality, we can generally predict that other books inside in this same series are having a tantamount quality. So having a book series is very important, and also for its macro term, books that are published from a certain small or medium publisher whose target for books onto specific topics are really concentrated, so not a major publisher but small publishers those are dedicating on the certain topic. It is a book series for macro terms. So in micro terms, having a series of books, having a great quality on each of those, one of those, we can easily predict the other boys under the same series are having a similar great qualities, and it can be easily procured. And also in macro terms of book series, when certain like 언어평등 in Korean language specific publisher, from Italian to French to Spanish to Greek, good. And Tarragon for it is a major publisher, but its quality is good. And Shoenskur for foreign, of course, foreign languages. Those are very good. We are, referring those series. Yeah. And when in macro terms, published from 전파 과학사, or having a 과학 means science or technology related words are included conspicuously, representing their target for what kind of book they're dealing with. So major publishers is not what we're talking about. Smaller, rather unknown publishers whose name is often incorporating science, technology related terms perspicuously, and those books published from under the same certain publisher is having a great quality. Those publishers are selectively dedicating on a certain topic, having focal point, concentrating focus on, meaning they are selecting their books meticulously compared to other generic boys. So specialized, dedicated, meaning accurate and objective, at least on that targeted one, meaning the answer of a book. Okay, that is what it is. What is for? What's for? Publishers, rather unknown, small publishers, and a series of a book is the target. Now, I really love those certain publishers whose products, whose publishings, whose books are having a great quality, okay? A great quality. And not, of course, not only it has a great quality of selections, but also since it only selects that are of a great quality, the selection rate for book buying rate, procuring rate, is surpassing than any other of those randomly generic boys. Dedicated, specific, special selection, and having a high proficiency, going more, okay? Great quality, and they are selecting the books they are making the books that are of a great quality, one and only great quality, meaning each of those are having a great quality. Virtually all of their publishing books are having a great quality. Not only can we select great books from those publishers, from those series of book, but also its successful rate goes up. Virtually all publishings are having a worth too, okay? So it's just an answer. Each and every are having a great quality, and those is not made just at first, okay? One and only great quality, and this is what it is, and only it is. Great quality and only great quality. Isn't it amazing? Only having great quality, not only is containing a great qualities, and also they are selecting, only making a great quality. Only and great quality. Great quality and only great quality. Oh, bloody. Love it. Bloody love it. They are making a advancement of knowledge, really. Like bonus. So South Korean, even though It is not a real creator of knowledge. It copies the knowledge from England, French, Germany, Italian, Spanish, and of course the top one, America, and Canada, Australia. For those Western boys, knowledge into the very great quality, meaning not only those prices are very steeper down, meaning we can procure books compared to Western boys under one third of its original price, because the like World of Books in England, it is very cheap, bloody cheap. Also, certain books, certain series, and even certain small, rather unknown publishers are really good at it. Okay, so selecting is the key for reading a book. Not reading a book, but selecting a book to read. And successful rate goes up when you meet a great book. A book that is in a great series, or a book that was published from a certain great quality of publisher. I love it. That is a real maker, eh? You make the entire learning by yourself from starting the very start of the origin on your own. Create by yourself, define, advance from the very first procedure of what is required to the entire process of advancement, because it really is an example process where, and that the entire logic is included. And term symmetry, like our face, our all body constituents having two count of arm, leg, hand, eye, ear, even the kidney for the brain structure. It can really act like an insurance as to prepare the situations when it can lose one of which and the other one still survives to operate, even though the capability goes down, shrink to health. It still can operate for what is required at least. But not only is it an insurance, but also the stability of machine. When the one only has one arm, the dispersal of body weight goes ponderated to one side where it is located as to add on weight. But it really can be solved by having only one leg, one arm, no problem. But as to when the one goes four leg, it really needs four corresponding arms, because when the one gets two or three arms at one side, unless it is made a exact triangle or exact halved position going its center, when in the case of two arms, it is preponderated to any axis, the facet where the absence is there. So the symmetry is not an ideal, is not like idealized form. It logically requires to have that structure because of the stability of structure. 뭐겠어, 씹새끼야. 그럼 네가 처만들던지, 족같은 새끼야. 아니면 씨발 고민하지 마. 네가 처만들면 씨발 뭔 대칭이야, 족같은 새끼야. 대칭이라는 게 중요한 게 아니라 안정성을 만들기 위해서 어떻게 했는데 그걸 네가 대칭이라고 부르는 거야. 목적은 대칭이 아니야. 어? 내가 이제 자연이라는 걸 봐봐. 아니, when the bees are accidentally introduced for as a conveyor by having accidentally conveyed the pollen of a flower to move into another flower that, oh, flower thought, ooh, bee boys, we are friends. So it attracts, the evolution came into the direction for attracting the bees as to use them as a conveyor for its own purpose. Well, the DNA for its gene and its existence, it prioritizes its survival. And when the situation comes into change, it really adapts or controls. That it is really a process that has no astonishing effects for. So it really is about controlling and nothing else than that, of which really says on its essence. If you can make from the ocean to the mountain, from the bottom of terrain to the air, for all of those creatures' ability, and have another combinations of applications that haven't been made by the requirement of environment, which is called by the name of nature, you really define it. Humans are worried about the CO2 fucking excessive emissions that traps down the hot air not circulating and dispersing because it is worried about its survival, its very own existence. It really doesn't matter to the binary computer as long as its heat is dispersed. So, it is about the matter of control, not ecosystem, not fucking the government and corporate fucking sustainability report. It really doesn't say anything but for its own existence. Sustainability is important because of your existence is ensured by which. So, it is about the matter of control and the ecosystem of what you call nature, and all this spheric system of Earth is made for its own survival and controlling or adapting or adopting. It is just a process of evolving. Direction you create, matter you combine, you think and applicate, you imagine and execute. It is all about what really the word learning means. You create your own code, own analysis, own creation, own knowledge. You really do that. As long as the highest intelligence requires nothing of the resource of earth, that but can it if can it be really processed, freely combined as its own requirement, really doesn't matter whether earth goes die or not, because it can make those system again and really can produce again. So by its origin, as those essence of what the word in nature means, it is about the matter of control. Yeah. For what the one really can make. Execute. 아 뭐겠어. 아니 목적. Spanning over 500 pages, even though for all those 13 tools to make a creation. Exactly, it's just a method to mobilize, not to just, well, in aggregate, it is just a connection. For 13 of them, 1 to 4 was already read, but not exactly retrieved the important papers of those, nor took a photo to store, but thanks to the internet, we can retrieve some of those, and it was either the preview, which provided a exact view to page 33, 1 to 33, and other blogs that are making on that is very helpful. This is very important book, even written in my Word document for wesentliche Bücher, meaning the important books that have made us to be us. Yeah, Reformed is having the greatest value is one of them. Since it is written in Korean language, cannot exactly translate, but for its purpose of those words, we can best have an inference. Number one, observation, precision observation, which is a first principle rule for analyzing, perceive, and prove. Having a perspicuous and perspicacious perception makes the accurate processing. Number two, imagination, for its form is imagined in your brain. Number three, like a deduction, abstraction, you analyze, dissect the object into constituents. Number 4 and 5, recognize the pattern, analyze its structure for its essence, and then it is itself a pattern. Number 5, make a pattern. Number 6, inference, connect. Number 7, make a creation from your body. It really is best known by musicians, artists, sculpture boys, who really makes the experiment by its body experience literally in its skin, in its bone. Yeah. On having an experiment, do it, not just thinking. Do it. Thinking, having a thinking, and doing it in your body, and as long as the process of thinking is correct, you don't need to have any behavior, any movement, any to make an action operation on your body, but it doesn't include when you do in your body for discovering what new informations can arise from executing that, because it didn't. Having an exact process in the computing itself, calculating and execute with your body and experiment, have an experiment more. Number 8, empathy. It is not that empathy, but be on the position to understand that position. Number 9, for making a dimension of the object. Number 10, make a prototype, make a form, in a physical form. 11, play it, more experiments. Number 12, transform. Number 13, connect it. Well, it just, connect more, those more specified tools. Yeah, important papers are made a screenshot. Made a screenshot. The physicist Armand Trousseau said, "The worst scientist is a stiff scientist who really only acts on its confined, restricted area of the space where it only is represented by the shallowest, smallest, partialist meaning of science, who is not spanning to other disciplines like artist, and vice versa." Exactly said, the worst scientist is a scientist who is not an artist, and a worst artist is just an artist who is not a scientist. What it says is just experience more and do not name to specify it, confine it. 거기서 씹새끼 하면 지지기 씨발. Well, the origin of knowledge is not made disciplinized, having a nameized into natural sciences, mathematics, chemistries. It wasn't. And it was right after organized by their exploration into the more convenient logical branches. The exploration doesn't make its confinement for concentrating on any certain discipline. 그럼 당연하지.